time to face reality, guys. It is time to face reality. 2026 WNBA season is cooked. It's cooked where it's cooked like Thanksgiving food. It's all cooked. It is over. It's done. Finito. There will be no 2026 WNBA season. As it seems, we were hoping for a 60-day extension because we know the October 31st deadline is 3 days away.
All right, this isn't just some spicy opinion. The 2026 WNBA season might actually be done for, like, officially on life support. And what's wild is how everyone's focused on the deadline, but they're missing the real drama unfolding behind the curtain. Because this isn't just about contracts stalling out. Something way bigger is playing out in the background. And by the time we're done here, you'll understand why certain people actually want this season to crash. Sounds insane, right? Stick around. We're from the October 31st deadline. Still no extension. Here's where it gets eerie. The last time the WNBA faced CBA negotiations, the deal was signed exactly 3 days before the deadline. Deja vu, except now there's silence. The Players Association? Standing firm. The league? Scrambling for answers. But here's where things take a sharp turn.
Let's go. I'm pissed. I wanted to see Caitlyn Clark absolutely destroy these ladies this season. I was ready to watch her cook them. Now, you're telling me we can't even get an extension done. This is wild. Let's head to Carly Bell's Twitter. Shout out to her. She said, could have almost guaranteed that the CBA wouldn't be resolved.
Did you catch that line? He said he wanted to see Caitlyn Clark torch the league this season. And he's not the only one. Millions of new fans tuned in last year just for her. Ratings exploded. Arenas were packed. Jerseys sold out. Everything was skyrocketing until now. Because all that momentum, it might vanish overnight. And the craziest part, there's actually a group of people who stand to gain if the season falls apart. Not kidding. Here's what's really happening. Reporter Carly Bell, who's been covering this whole negotiation mess, dropped a bombshell on X. She basically said, yeah, no one expected the CBA to be done by October 31st. That's not the shocking part. It's what she said next that changes everything.
31st. I think we all pretty much could agree on that. However, with the recent public jabs from both the W and the Players Association, an extension could now not happen. It could not. It's not happening, you guys. In my opinion, I think it'd be foolish to not sign an extension, but I understand what the power of not signing one can do. Listen, the ladies in the PA and Unrivaled, Bree Stewart and the Feast Caller and all of them, they are feeling like they can hold the W's feet to the fire and force their hand to give them what they want.
Wait, did she actually hint that there might not be an extension because of public shots being fired? That's not small talk. That's code for total chaos. And here's what most fans missed. The Players Association literally mocked Adam Silver on Instagram days before all this drama started. They trolled the NBA commissioner in public. You can imagine how that went over. When you embarrass the guy who holds the checkbook, things get ugly fast. But here's where it flips. Carly mentioned something about the power of not signing an extension. What power? Who wins by not playing? It only makes sense when you follow the money. The name you need to remember? Unrivaled. It's a new 3-on-3 women's league backed by Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, two megastars. And the timing is suspicious. As WNBA talks collapse, Unrivaled explodes. Players signing, investors flooding in, millions in funding. And if there's no WNBA season in 2026,
no extension is better for Unrivaled because that's where all the players are going to be. You already know that players have already agreed to contracts with Project B. That's already out there. They've already been in negotiations and signed WNBA players. This is happening. The WNBA players don't feel like they need to sign an extension or they need to have a season unless the W is going to give them every single thing they want. They want to be able to go make money in Project B. They want to be able to make their money in Unrivaled, and they want to be able to make their money in the WNBA.
All right, let's piece this together. Players are eyeing cash from Project B, another rival league. They're chasing paychecks from Unrivaled. And of course, they want WNBA money too. 3 leagues, 3 income streams. But the issue? The WNBA calendar overlaps with the others. So how do you fix that? Simple. Eliminate the WNBA season. Force the league's hand. Make them so desperate they'll cave to anything, even letting players bounce between leagues freely. It's negotiation chess, and the players think they're holding checkmate. Give us everything we want or we'll take our talents elsewhere. And honestly, they might not be bluffing. But there's one more twist that no one's talking about. A gambling scandal. Yep, the NBA just got slapped with a federal probe. And guess who's caught in the crossfire? The WNBA.
No extension is being signed. We watched the Players Association troll Adam Silver on Instagram, and then we saw the NBA get hit with a crazy gambling thing that's trickling down into the WNBA. Now the WNBA injury reporting being investigated. All of these things are happening. Adam Silver has a meeting with the feds on the 31st. You think an extension or deal with the WNBA is about to be signed on the 31st? Come on, let's be serious here. Let's be serious here. The NBA is the real moneymaker. He needs to get that resolved with the Fed.
You heard that right. Adam Silver's got a meeting with federal investigators on October 31st. Same day as the WNBA deadline. Coincidence? Please. The NBA is a billion-dollar empire. The WNBA is still fighting to break even. So if you're Silver, and the feds are breathing down your neck about gambling violations and your women's league wants a pay raise, which fire are you putting out first? The NBA rakes in $10 billion a year. The WNBA? Around $200 million. That's pocket change in comparison. So yeah, Silver's focus is clear. And the players? They see that. They know he's distracted. They know the league's vulnerable. So they're pressing harder than ever. But what's tragic is the person caught right in the middle of all this chaos. Someone who didn't start it, didn't ask for it, but is being used as the face of it anyway.
Conveniently name dropping Caitlyn Clark now. Every 30 seconds she's saying this girl name. Every 30 seconds. She can't sneeze without Caitlyn Clark. She can't sneeze without Caitlyn Clark name coming out her mouth. All for her own personal gain and benefit. Not because she cares about Caitlyn at all. Let's be clear. She had nothing to say about Caitlyn Clark being targeted for the last 2 years. Nothing to say about it. Now you're conveniently talking about conversations with Kathy Engelbert that we don't know if they happened or not.
Caitlyn Clark. Every 30 seconds, her name gets thrown around, not out of love, but because she's leverage. This is straight up manipulation. Nafisa Collier, one of Unrivaled's founders, suddenly can't stop mentioning Caitlyn. Every interview, every podcast, every social post. Caitlyn this, Caitlyn that. But where was that energy last season when Clark was getting body slammed on the court? When players were literally targeting her? When the hits got so bad fans were calling it borderline assault? Nafisa was quiet. Not a word. But now that Unrivaled needs publicity, suddenly Caitlyn's the poster girl. It's so obvious it's almost insulting. Collier even claimed she had private talks with Commissioner Kathy Engelbert about protecting Caitlyn and recognizing her impact. Sounds noble, right? Except
a liar. She said you're a liar. Caitlyn Clark said she never heard about this until you got on a podium and said it in front of the world. That's a little shady to me. So at the end of the day, these players feel like they have the leverage, and it's looking like there won't be a 2026 WNBA.
Caitlyn Clark herself said she never heard about any of it, not one word, until Nafisa made it public. Think about that. Someone says they've been fighting for you behind closed doors, but they never even tell you? Then they announce it for the cameras? That's not support, that's PR strategy. Classic manipulation. Attach yourself to the biggest name in the sport, claim you're their ally, soak up the good press, and never risk a thing. Smart. Yeah. Ethical? Not even close. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's just trying to play basketball. And now her entire sophomore season might vanish because people are playing politics with her career. She didn't ask to be the WNBA's savior. She didn't sign up to be a bargaining chip. Yet here we are. So what happens if this deadline passes with no deal?
I'm truly upset and disgusted by it, man. I'm disgusted by it. Here it says, what happens if there's no deal by October 31st? There are two paths forward if there is no deal in place by October 31st, an extension of the deadline or a work stoppage. A temporary extension of the deadline to allow the two sides to continue discussing unimpeded is the most likely initial outcome. While I hope we make October 31st deadline, and that is a real deadline, from that perspective, we have extended deadlines in the past, Engelbert said during pre-WNBA Finals press conference. But the fact of the matter is, you guys, when it comes to these extensions, they only sign an extension when both sides agree that they are mutually coming to an agreement.
Two roads ahead. Path 1, they extend the deadline. It's what everyone's praying for. That's what happened last time. Both sides say, we're close, they buy more time, and everyone relaxes. But extensions only happen when there's real progress, when both sides actually want peace. And right now, it's the opposite. Players are going public, saying the league isn't listening. The league is accusing players of lying and spinning the media. They're calling each other out in real time. That's not almost done. That's completely broken. So yeah, path 1, probably dead, which means path 2 is about to take over.
They are starting to have, alignment on a future deal. We don't see any of that. There's none of that. The player, we've heard Satu, all of these players come out and say, oh, it's like they're not even listening to us. It's like in one ear and out the other. They're not taking us serious. Then we heard the W say, hey, the WNBA are lying to the people. They're lying about the negotiations. They're trying to get public perception on their side and bring in.
Path 2, the status quo phase. The contract expires, but nobody officially strikes or locks out. It's this weird gray zone where both sides just wait. But if that limbo drags on too long, we hit the nuclear button, work stoppage. Either the owners lock players out, or the players walk. No games, no checks, no league. And here's where it gets political. The league's already calling in government allies to put pressure on the players. There's even talk of a potential future governor stepping in. When politicians show up at labor tables, it's serious. It's optics, make the players look unreasonable, turn fans against them. But the players aren't blinking. And now it's clear why money. Follow it and everything clicks. Nafisa Collier's raised millions for Unrivaled. Investors are in deep. She's got contracts, commitments, promises. If she suddenly says, never mind, I'm going back to the WNBA full-time, those investors would lose their minds and probably sue her. Her entire reputation would implode. So for her, Unrivaled can't just survive, it has to win. And the easiest way to do that? Make sure there's no WNBA season to compete with.
I think it's mighty convenient that all of a sudden, Nafisa Collier is name dropping Caitlyn Clark every 13 seconds. Every 13 seconds, she's saying her name. And this is all to push Unrivaled. They want to be able, she's collected so much money from these people investing in Unrivaled. How could she then turn to them and say, hey, we can't have Unrivaled anymore? If I just gave you $20 million for Unrivaled, I'd be damned if you come tell me there ain't going to be no Unrivaled no more. And you ain't playing it. You've lost your mind. Nafisa Collier, I don't believe none of these people. I think it's some shady stuff going on. And I still stand on the side. Kathy Engelbert needs to be fired immediately.
The way this all lines up is just dirty. But it's business and big money makes people ruthless. What stings, though, is that the WNBA was finally winning. After decades of scraping for attention, the 2024 season was electric. Ratings through the roof, packed arenas, sponsorships pouring in. The league finally had momentum, and it was all because of Caitlyn Clark. Love her or not, she flipped the entire sport. People who'd never watched a single WNBA game were suddenly rearranging their schedules to watch the fever. Kids were wearing her jersey. Fans started learning other players' names because of her. For the first time, the WNBA was thriving. And now, that progress is hanging by a thread. All because no one can agree on how to split money that wouldn't even exist without the player they're exploiting. Caitlyn stayed classy through it all. No whining, no politics, just focus. And yet, the very league she helped resurrect might rob her of a season. If that happens, it's not just a setback, it's a disaster for women's basketball. Casual fans don't wait. They move on. 25 years of building an audience, gone in one off season. Because people got greedy and forgot the main mission. And here's the irony. The players think their new leagues give them leverage. But that leverage only exists because the WNBA built the platform they're now trying to dismantle. That's not strategy, that's self-sabotage.
Still stand there, but I believe there's some low-down dirty stuff going on. And unfortunately, it is going to affect Caitlyn Clark in the 2026 WNBA season because they are not going to come to an agreement on extending the
And still, people are calling for Cathy Engelbert to be fired. And honestly, they might have a point. Her leadership's been shaky. The timing, the PR moves, the communication, everything feels off. But this isn't just about Engelbert anymore. This is about whether women's basketball can survive its own success. Because right now, the league's greatest opportunity could also become the reason it collapses.